All right, we are live. Exciting times, guys. Whew, I almost always start my videos by saying I'm excited, but I'm really excited today. I'm as excited as I've been for a video maybe yet. You would not believe what is sitting in front of me. It is a ridiculous sight to behold. I'm going to try to show you guys. Yeah, you can see 14 Glencairns, and each of those Glencairns has 1 ounce of a different batch of Stag Jr. So I've got 14 different 1 ounce pours of Stag Jr. What's up, Nate? And I'm gonna blind try to taste them all. Now, I may or may not try to guess which batch is which. I'm not that familiar with Stag Jr. batches, so I think that's a total crapshoot. I don't think that's really going to be feasible. What's up, Josh? Thanks, ma'am. But you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to do my best. But really the point of this for me was I've heard so much about different batches of Stag Jr. Some people really like batch 9. Some people really like batch 12. Hey, Mike. Yeah, Stag Jr. is hard to find. George T. Stag is even harder to find. A couple of these bottles were mine that I've gotten through various lucky situations or very kind people. But the vast majority of these samples were just that. They were samples from very generous fans and friends who have donated their whiskey to help me make this dream possible. But really the point of doing this was to figure out if the Stag Jr. batch differences really stand out back to back to back. I think that it's easy to say, oh, that batch is good or that batch is not good when you're doing it in a vacuum. But when you put them back to back to back, what actually happens? It's a good question. It's a valuable question to see if the older batches are as bad as people said they are, frankly. I mean, one of the hardest batches I had trouble getting was batch 1. I think in part because the people who owned it didn't have it open. It has been, lambasted by reviewers who didn't like it and thought it wasn't good. But I'm going to give it a shot. Hopefully it's better than they say. But I don't know which is which. I've got letters A through N in front of me, and I'm going to try to figure out which one is which, maybe. At the very least, I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite to least favorite, rank them top to bottom. And we're going to do a little bit of discussion about how to avoid palate blindness and maybe a little bit of a conversation about what that is and what it looks like. I think palate blindness is something that comes up a lot when people haven't had a lot of experience doing big back-to-back tastings like this. Now, this is kind of an extreme example only because they're all super high proof. And that's something that enhances palate blindness. But I think talking about it in an intelligent way, while at least somewhat sober, sober now, hopefully I will remain somewhat sober, which is another thing I'll talk about. But hopefully to talk about these things in an intelligent way will be really helpful. I believe thank you. They've been posted. So if you want to know what letter corresponds to which batch, you can check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/thedrinkpro. My partner Yolanda has posted them there. I've also got this nice little notebook. This is my answer key. And it's been bookmarked where the actual answers are, where the batches that align with these letters are. So let's see. Mike McAllister, I got a batch 9. He likes it. Not an everyday drinker, but very good for special occasions. I think I like batch 9. I've had 9s a couple of different times. I'm really looking forward to trying it blind because I don't know if that's just, me liking it because I think I'm supposed to like it or if I actually do like it. So I want to do a couple things before I dig into these pours. First thing I want to do is mention that next weekend, we're going to be doing a really trick or treat, a really interesting live stream. This is a bucket of samples, obviously, but these are all samples that got sent to me by John Warner. Shout out, John. And some of these things are really good, and some of these are really gross. This is a notable one. This is probably the worst one because it's got a bug in it. Who doesn't love grubs in their mezcal? So next Saturday, I think it's next Saturday. I have to double check, but next Saturday, is next Saturday Halloween? It is. Next Saturday, live stream, I'm going to be pulling randomly blind out of this bucket and drinking whenever I pull out. And these are all old samples, so it's going to be kind of a mess, but it should be a lot of fun. We'll do some trivia questions too. I might give something away. Pay attention. There's going to be some giveaways, some tricks, and some treats on the Halloween live stream. But for now, you're here with me today to watch me drink a whole shitload of Stag Jr., and I hope to not disappoint. Let me get a little bit of water. I'm also going to be staying extremely hydrated for this because, well, number one, I don't want to die. But number two, that's part of avoiding palate blindness. If you take a sip of water between each taste, you can kind of refresh your palate and go back to zero, and it can be a really helpful endeavor. The chat's alive. Fred said he's going to watch this on the replay because he's watching the Minnesota-Michigan game tonight. Go Gophers. All right, well, cheers, Fred. Fred Smith actually provided me with one of these samples. I wanted to do shout-outs for people. Fred Smith provided me batch 8 sample. So thank you so much, Fred. I'm going to go through with all of these samples and tell you who provided what and give them a nice shout out because I really appreciate you guys. It's the only way I can keep doing this channel. All right, Anthony's got 12, 13, and 14. Can't wait to find out which one I like the best. Me too, man. It's going to be really interesting. Doing this all blind will add another fun element to it. Andrew's pumped up. There we go. Ooh, heck yeah, man. So, quick background on Stag Jr. Stag Jr. first came into existence in the fall of 2013. That's when batch 1 was released. It's been released twice a year since then, usually fall and spring, but there are occasional summer release and a winter release in there sprinkled about, I believe. But yeah, twice a year since fall 2013. The proofs have stayed pretty consistent between 67.2 and 63.2. That's batch 1 and batch 10, respectively. I did an average for the batches, and I'll tell you why in a second, but the average proof for the Stag Jr. batches is 65.22%. So this is no joke high proof bourbon. They're blends of 8 and 9 year whiskeys, and it's mash bill 1 from Buffalo Trace, the low rye mash bill. Now, I will say, we will see what happens with the Stag Jr. single barrel program that was recently announced. More teased than announced. But I was lucky enough to recently go on a pick for a E.H. Taylor single barrel selection, barrel pick. And we found out that they were using a different mash bill than your typical E.H. Taylor single barrel for all of the barrels that we were choosing from. And it sounds like part of that is the committee who decides where barrels go is driving more and more based purely on taste and smell and the aesthetic qualities of the whiskey and less on the mash bill. So I'll be very curious to see if we don't find a couple of mash bill 2 Stag Jr. picks. That could be a really cool thing in the near future. Let me get back to my shout outs and then we're going to get into this bourbon. Shout out Fred Smith for batch 8. I already mentioned it. Thanks, Fred. Go Gophers, he says. I'm pretty pumped up because IU won. I went to undergrad at IU. I went to law school at IU. 7 years straight through. It was a great time. And, you know, IU football is always fun to watch, but always kind of a train wreck. So seeing us beat Penn State was a big deal. So I'm really excited about that. Trevor asks, have you heard anything about Stag Jr. barrel picks coming in 2021? I've heard a rumor that they are. All I've heard are rumors as well, Trev. I think that we're going to get Stag Jr. barrel picks in 2021, but I don't know exactly when that's getting rolled out. Let me just go down the line here. I think it'll be easier if I go batch 1 to 14 and give the shout outs, and then we'll get into this whiskey. Batch 1, Shane Law at Brews and Bourbons on Instagram, which is kind of a fun one because that was batch 1. I told you that I had some trouble picking that up. At Bourbon_Heads reached out to me and said, hey, I think I can get you this pour, and reached out to his friend and gave me the pour and also gave me a fun Glencairn. Let me see if I can't find it. Here we are. There you go. NC Bourbon Crew. It's North Carolina representing. Appreciate the glass. Appreciate the sample. Thanks, man. Big shout out to Tab25. Now, this is I'll call him quasi-anonymous because he is using a pen name, we'll call it. But Tab25 provided me with several of these samples. He provided me with batch 2, batch 4, And I think he provided me another one. I don't see it on here, though. Oh, and batch 5. 2, 4, and 5 were all tab 25. Appreciate it, my man. Batch 3. Now, this is embarrassing. I cannot find who sent me batch 3. I know it was somebody who gave me the sample at IREA's parking lot, I believe, here in Indianapolis. And they were very nice to provide the sample, very generous. But I hadn't had a lot of contact with them before, and I haven't had a lot of contact with them since, and I can't find their contact information. I can't remember who it is. So thank you so much to the gentleman who provided me sample for batch 3. Hit me up, man. We should chat about it because I appreciate it very much, and I want to give you a proper shout out whenever I can. Batch 5 is Trevor Kunkel. He knows he's in here. Trevor is longtime aggressive supporter, which I love, of the channel. So appreciate it, Trevor. He's in batch 6. I think I said batch 5. He did batch 6, 2, 4, and 5 were tab 25. Batch 7, Mark Goldman. Appreciate the sample, Mark. Batch 8, we already mentioned Fred Smith. Batch 12, Gregory Lane. Thank you so much to Greg. And then batch 14 was Henry Cervantes. I think I already did a review of that on a general review channel, not on a live stream. That was a fun one. And then all the rest, 9, 10, 11, and 13 were bottles that I already had access to myself. And so that's how I got my hands on those pours. I already had them in my collection. So as you can tell, this was a collective effort. There's a lot of good people out there. The whiskey community is a wonderful place. So thank you all so much. All right, that's 12 minutes almost of preamble. I'm sure you're all sick of the preamble. Let's get into some whiskey. Now, I talked a little bit about palate blindness. And I'm going to kind of reference that throughout this sampling. It really is. Nate's totally right. The best part of the whiskey world is the generosity. People are so nice. One of the ways to avoid the whiskey blindness really is, or palate blindness. Whiskey blindness is a different thing. It's when you drink moonshine and then you can't see. But palate blindness is just something that happens when you drink a bunch of different whiskeys, especially when you're, looking at like a 5 or 10% difference, which is what we're going to be doing here. I mean, these are all the same brand. It's the same product in very, very similar presentations. The new difference and the nuance is going to be here. These are the differences compared to, if you were jumping between brands in the company, jump between companies, jumping between whiskey types. So this is a narrow sliver, and it gets easy to lose track of what you're looking for, what you're looking at. Number 1, bourbon tasting wheel. Always hold on desperately to a guide of some kind. I think that once you get really good at this, you can avoid using a whiskey wheel. And I'm getting to the point where I'm doing it less than I used to. I'm relying on it less than I used to. But for this exercise, I'm going to rely on it kind of a lot because I'm going to be really pulling at the nuances. I'm tugging at these little minutiae in the tasting and smelling notes. And the other thing I already mentioned, I'm going to be taking sips of water in between each tasting. And I will be smelling my elbow in between each nosing. Now, why would I do that? So your elbow, the inside of your elbow is a good sort of rule of thumb place to smell your own odor. Everybody has a scent, whether you want to admit it or not. Some of us are more pleasant than others to each other. But finding your own scent is a good way to recenter your nasal passages, your pathways, all of your sinuses, clear any excess odors out of there, and to sort of hit a stable point. It's like drinking water. Water is sort of a stabilizer for your palate. Your own scent is a stabilizer for your sinuses. So once you reach that stasis, you can get back into it and hit another pour. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let me rub my eyes really quick because they're hurting for some reason. Oh, and by the way, don't try this at home unless you're being kind of regimented like I am. There are 14 ounces of 65+% alcohol whiskey on this table. If I drank all of these, I calculated this. If I drank all of these and I drank every drop on the table and I finished it at 11 p.m., I would be at 0.2 of a blood alcohol content. Now, 0.08 is the legal limit. And you get up into the 0.3, 0.4, you're talking about alcohol poisoning proper and needing to go to the hospital very often. So I don't want to get up that high. So I'm probably not going to finish a lot of these. I got 1 ounce pours specifically so I could revisit on ones that I'm unsure about. I may keep sipping them a little bit more steadily during the Patreon exclusive post-mortem, essentially, of this event that will be happening directly after this tasting. But drink in moderation, guys. Simple as that. You don't need me to preach to you, but that's the way you drink like a pro. Mike said he's like a boxer who's trained for this. Oh, yeah, I've been training for this my whole life. Well, at least since I was 21. A lot of people started drinking earlier than 21. I really didn't. I didn't really start drinking until, like, law school. When I was an undergrad, I was a philosophy major, and alcohol was not the drug of choice in that department. Okay. Let's start smelling some whiskey. Great start, Kyle. Yeah, I need an intro song. Yeah, the problem is the problem with intro music is that everything on YouTube now gets you demonetized. And I'm not monetized yet, so I could just say fuck it. But, I'd like to keep in my mind that I need to be careful about that stuff. So I there you go. That's my normal intro music, which I need to record that in some sort of other fashion besides the upbeat poppy makeup artist YouTuber version that I've been using in my videos. So I'll get on that. Well, I love the smell of A right off the bat. I don't think I'm going to love all these on the nose. There are different. Let me get a tasting wheel out here. There are different qualities to each of these, so some of them I know I don't like on the nose. I've had before. Yeah, Yolanda says I was boring in undergrad. I thought I was the coolest cat in school. I was a huge nerd. President of the philosophy club. Yeah, that's me. I was on an ethics debate team. God, I was a nerd. Fucking A. That's an awesome Nate's there. That's how you know Nate's been watching me for a while. He asked side bets before or after D before he starts sneezing. I'm gonna say before D I'll be sneezing. That's my bet on myself. You gotta bet on you, Okay, so number 1 here. These are all pretty high alcohol, but this doesn't smell as hot as I would expect it to be. I think I'm going to not go through everyone very closely like I was just starting to. I think that's a bad idea. I don't really have a game plan for this at all, to be honest with you, because this is just kind of chaos. The table in front of me is super intimidating. Right now, I'm just going to write letters on this and try to remember how the alphabet goes. Just writing letters on my notebook so I can keep track of what's what, how I feel about what. And I'm going to be using a scoring system equal weights to palate, to nose, and to finish. So let me just go through and get a sense of all these real quick. So that was A. I like A. Oh, wow. I like B way better. Wow, it's super sweet and candy-y. Oh my gosh, B is gorgeous. This is C. C is very similar to B, albeit a little bit weaker, a little bit less of the candy note. Oh. Ooh, okay, D's a lot more oaky. Now D reminds me more of like classic Stag. It's oaky. It's ooh, uh-oh. Oh man, it's coming. You're right, Trev. Oh no. D is oh, it's a lot more alcoholic. D is stronger. Now, I will also say that the bottles that I had, I tried to make sure I opened a while back to give them a chance to breathe. So I think all of these pours are pretty close to the same levels based on what I've seen and heard. Oh man, this is D, and oh, I thought I was gonna sneeze there, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, after D, C is pretty boring, to be honest. D really had a lot going on, the woodiness and the cherry. Yeah, B. Oh man, wait a minute. B's almost perfumey now. It's sweet. It's perfumey. Oh man. All right, let's go into A. Yeah, I think A is my least favorite on the nose so far. And I'm going to come back through and re-rank all these. We'll see. Yeah, D is a sharper ethanol, woodier, a little bit more honey. Definitely that cherry. Moved on to E. The over wins. See, I'm breaking my own rule. You gotta smell your arm. Yeah, E is really wow. E smells like a musty outdoorsman cologne. I'm really shining this. I think I'll have to powder next time I get this many lights on my face. Yeah, Doug is right. These are all going to be so good. This is going to be a real challenge. I mean, we're playing on the margins of 5% here, differences. Uh-oh. God, that's beautiful, though. Let me go back to C for a minute, just because. See, this is... Yeah, the C is getting mustier and mustier. All right, let's go in with F. F is pretty middle of the pack. It's a little sweet. A little bit of caramel. Oh, man. Got close to sneezing there. See, if Nate hadn't said anything, he might have gone, the under might have gone, but he got me conscious about it. When I'm self-conscious about stuff, man, it's Mike hit the smoke wagon jack, but I'd love to see a picture what that looks like, my friend. Doug grabbed batch 14 at $50. He grabbed them both, and he gave a week apart so that people had a chance. Other people had a chance to get it. Doug, wherever the hell you are, and people don't see batch 14 at $50 and pick it up immediately, that you gave them a week and they never picked it up, you've got yourself a honey hole, my friend. People don't know about that place. You need to hang on to that. That's good info. That's worth something, my friend. Man, if I could see Stag Jr. sitting on a freaking shelf for a week, I can't see anything sitting on a shelf for more than a day. People are clearing shelves of everything. Okay. Now we're getting some cherries. I'm spending some time with F. I think F is doing it for me. It's not as much of the baking spice. I really like the baking spice in B, but that's atypical for me. That is not typical Stag. Oh, and it's now becoming more and more cherry-esque. Interesting. As these sit out, they're going to change. Now we're on to G. Yeah, it often doesn't make the shelf, as Trevor correctly points out. Yolanda is dropping things upstairs. Oh, no, this one, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. G has got a definite medicinal cherry quality. Sorry, by the way, when I do that sniffing, I know that could probably bother some people, but I'm pretty certain I've got a deviated septum, and every once in a while it will change sides. Which side is more clogged up? Yeah, G is just kind of boring and flat. Move on to H. It is a ridiculous exercise. Like, the more I think about how ridiculous this is, looking at this table where I've got A through N. By the way, if you didn't see it already, the answer key is on my Facebook page if you want to know what the hell I'm doing, or if you want to play along, you're more than welcome to. But I don't know how you play along with this, because you'd have to know what all the batches smell like and taste like. And I have no clue. This is a total shot in the dark. But I'm happy to be doing it. I'm excited to be here, man. And I super appreciate everybody who helped me get here. I should neti pot before doing these, or better yet, do it on camera. I may have to do a neti pot on camera for the Patreon. That would be great Patreon exclusive content. Yolanda says gross. I do take some weird pleasure in grossing out my partner. H is really honey forward. I'm not sure if Trevor thinks it's gross or good content, or maybe both. Could be both. I think it's both. Ooh, oh. There we go. A lot of caramel. We're getting it now. We're getting it now. Caramel, honey, cherry. Yeah, that's giving me those staggy notes. On to I. Whew. So I just kind of realized that I'm sitting here doing this, and this is kind of an exercise in futility. So let me, because I can't keep track of which one I like better than the other. Like, I gotta actually be more systematic here. So I'm gonna start over, and we're gonna go in. I'm going to focus not so much on the notes, but on like how much I like it. And we'll give more notes while I'm tasting it. I usually taste, smell, taste, and so I'll give more notes while I'm tasting it. But I'm going to go through all of them. Uh-oh, our monster is awake. Our little doggo. You will hear the pitter-patter of dog feet unless Yolanda comes down and takes her away. All right, so A, I would get a relatively strong alcohol burn. Caramel, vanilla, it's fine. I think A is probably, I'm going to give number ratings. That worked pretty well last time I did it. We'll start with 80. 80 is a good baseline. Now, that's interesting. When I first smelled them, Oreo's saying goodbye. Goodbye. You want some whiskey? See, that's too strong for her. The lower proof whiskey, she'll put her nose in and sniff it. This stuff's too much. She's smarter than I am. She knows not to drink this nonsense. So I'm getting this creamy vanilla on A. And then when I compare it to B, B's a little bit more medicinal, a little bit more bitter. I said I was going to give notes, and now I can't help myself. Yeah, I'm not feeling B, which is interesting. When I first smelled it, I really liked it. I got a lot of baking spice. So the baking spice sort of dissipated. Now it's a lot woodier, more stringent. I'm going to give B on the nose. Let's give it a 70. I'm going to make big spaces between my numbers so I can move things around if need to be. Now C is kind of like a mix of A and B, because A is a lot more caramel, but C and A are similarly creamy. But C is maybe the most caramel forward of the three. Oh, this is definitely going to bring a sneeze on. Whew. Why did I agree to do this? I gave myself the stupidest of timetables. We're 30 minutes in. I'm barely getting started. This is going to be a total disaster. This is if you haven't tuned in these live streams before, this does seem to be a trend where I, like, in the middle of the live stream, realized it was a bad idea to do this as a live stream. You'd think I'd learn. Nah. I like C better than B. B is too medicinal. And I think C has a little bit more of a fruit note that I like. So C, but it's close. So C is going to get an 85. It's going for D. Ooh. D is very fruity, but it's also a bit medicinal. Interesting. D is relatively quiet. D might be been open longer than some of these other batches. I'll be curious. I mean, if D is batch 11, then I'll really be curious. The reason I know batch 11 is because that would be the one I had open the longest. I know a lot of people do that. They do nostril to nostril. Mash and Drum definitely does that a lot. How about this, though? I haven't seen anybody do this technique. Snorting lines of whiskey. I forgot what I was doing. I was just smelling D because it smells good. Ooh, C just got some cinnamon. That's fun. C is my favorite right now. So D is definitely not as good as C. D and B are very close. A is getting worse now. Yeah. So B has got that fruit note, but that medicinal note is just bothering me too much. D is better than B, not as good as C or A. I'm going to give D a 75. For those of you playing at home, that means C is still in the lead, A is second place, B is fourth place, and D is third place. All right, let's jump to E. Ooh, okay. Oh, man, almost sneezed there. That was close. It's going to happen by the end of the stream. So E isn't bad, but it's falling flat for me. So do I like E better than D? See, E is. I may have to give it the same score, even though I hate doing that. Because E is just so different. So A is like sweet honey, a little bit of fruit. E is the brightest one yet. It's the brightest one yet. I think I like E. I think I like D better than E. But do I like B better than E? B is currently my last place on the nose. We're still on the nose, guys. I know it's taken too long. Yeah, I think I got to say E is better than B. So that means I'm going to give E a 73. In the interest of like maintaining my sanity, I'm going to do, I don't know. I'm just going to keep going. Just shut up and smell, Kyle. It's there's no way to simplify this. There's no way to make this easier. I'm just going to take a drink because what the hell? Why not? It's my first drink today. Jumping in on some barrel proof Stag Jr. It's a hell of a way to get your day going. Oh, man, that Kentucky hug. Oh, it's deep in my chest. Deep in my chest. I'm going to have to get some French fries after this stream. I wonder if Taco Bell delivers. If you're listening, Taco Bell, I'd be happy to have you as a sponsor. I mean, F. I think I like F. E is better than F. Is B better than F? No. Ooh, I think it is. Shit. Yeah, I think I just found my new worst. Yeah. Yeah, F is just not doing it for me. I'm going to give F a 60. Which I realize that's incredibly low, but I'm really trying to make room to put things between. Yeah, good question, Trevor. Why not tacos? We want tacos. All right. Let's go in on G here. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst yet. Oh my gosh, that's yeah. Yeah. I mean, B has that medicinal cherry note, but G is just like super sharp in not a good way. Yeah. It's just not good. That's my professional opinion. It's not good. I'm going to give G a 50. The caramel's there, but it's all out of whack. It's way out of balance. There's a lot of bitterness. There's a lot of sharpness. There's a lot of like an ethanol burn. Not good. This H isn't that much better, to be honest with you. Let me taste it. Ooh, that's not good. H is, I think I tasted F. H is way more bitter woody than F. And some people love bitter woody. It's just not usually my note. I think H is better than G. Yeah, H is better than G. Is it better than F? No, it's not. It's very close, though. So H, I'm going to give a 58 because I gave G a 60. So it's very, very close. Like I said, we're talking about the rarest of margins here. I. This is the last one I've actually smelled before. I false started myself. I'm just going to keep tasting them. What the hell? Get a nice start going before I actually taste them for realsies. That's a lot better. Why? H is bitter wood. I is sweet wood. Makes a big difference. Okie dokie. The nose on I is very sweet candy. Caramel. Caramel wood. Stripping caramel and oak. And it's more stingy. It burns my nostrils kind of a lot. G is still my worst one. Hell yeah, man. Loaded curly fries. That's what I'm about. Yolanda, I am a fry man. And Yolanda didn't want to get fries. She got sandwiches. Now, don't get me wrong. She got a very good sandwich. But I am an absolute sucker for fries. So I'm going to get some fries tonight for sure. Loaded curlies are a great option. I wasn't really, well, I was a little mad. I was more just shocked. Like, it was like you had stolen something from me. I couldn't believe it. By the way, I actually like the nose on G. I said it was the worst one, but I still like it. Where's H? H, I give it 58. Oh, yeah. I is worse than H, better than G. We're going to call it 55. And just to remind myself of what a good one smells like. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling comfortable with this so far. It can get a little squirrely when you're doing this, guys, because you never really know, you know, how it's going to compare once you... We are talking late night fast food, Nate. And Trevor has only got hooked on the Arby's loaded curly fries. That's a good thing to be hooked on for sure. J is interesting. J is flatter than a lot of these have been. It's subtle, which is not something I think of when I think of Stag. But I like it. It's fruity, it's creamy. Let me put it up next to E here in my lineup. E's better. E's caramel sweetness is better. And although I like the fruitiness of J, it's not as... Oh, no. Mike said he ate some bad Chinese food a few hours ago, so eating is not the last thing on his mind. I hope you feel better, Michael. I know I've been there. That sucks. Hopefully watching me get drunk will make it easier for you. Okay, what was I doing? J. What did I compare J to? I don't even remember. Let's check it against D here. The fruitiness is good. The subtlety. D is more interesting. Trevor got McDonald's dropped off, double quarter pounder and fries. He's doing it right, man. I like the way you think about fast food, Trevor. Where the hell is this going to go, man? What do I think about A? A is better. A is better than J. All right, so that at least gives me something to build off of. Do I think D is better than J? Yeah, D is better than J. J is just kind of boring. Let's check E. There's no way I'm guessing which batch is what. It's just not fucking happening, guys. It's just not going to happen. I'll make up numbers at some point, but like, don't expect any rhyme or reason to them. Yolanda is sneaking up French onion dip and chips upstairs. He wants to give me grief about fries.
We have to go get fries.
I got an app. I can order fries.
Yeah, but I'm not taking you to Taco Bell.
I can order Taco Bell too. DoorDash, baby. All right. E. E's better. Let's go to B. B was 70. Yeah, we're getting closer here. It might be a little bit better than B. Let me try it against F, because F was at 60. So F was a noticeable drop-off. Oh, yeah. So F has got an interesting chocolate note, which isn't bad, but it's not what I want from this pour. Yeah, clearly better than F. Okay, so it's better than F, which is at 60. It's better than B, which is at 70. It's worse than D, which is 75. That means I'm going to give J a 72. I'm going to start drinking more and more of these, so just understand. Oh, no! Oh, no! 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 Is this a joke bottle?
No.
God dang, dude, that's bad. Oh. Ugh. No. That's the first one I really feel like is actually not good. I mean, G is just kind of boring. It's kind of nothing, but K is not pleasant for me. It's really sharp. It's all ethanol. I mean, it's sweet, but not in a good way. See, I is sweet in a good way. God, I mean, now see, that tastes good, but I do not like the nose on it. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 50 because I think that's 47. Wait, G was 50. Yeah, 40. I'm going to give it a 50. I'm going to tie it. I don't like doing it, but they're polar opposites in terms of their problems, but they're both, I would say, equally problematic. So let's move to L. Almost to the end of the alphabet here, boys, and then we're going to start drinking. I've already been sipping on these, but it's going to hit hard and hit quick. Call the paramedics. Call Arby's. Call the Arby's paramedics. Call the Taco Bell hospital. I need an infusion of jalapeno sauce stat. L's decent. Yeah, L's decent. Let's just pick a middle of the road. Let's go with D. D's a 75er. Curly fry and a stretcher. That's right, Michael. I actually think I like L better than D. It's got a lot of the same notes, a lot of the same caramel creaminess, but D's a little bit more astringent than L. D was a 75, so what's after 75? I think 80 is my next one, which would have been A. Oh, A is going to beat it. A's so sweet, creamy candy. Oh, it's beautiful. L is going to go 77, maybe? Yeah. What was below D? E. Yeah. 77. 77 for L. Second to last, the penultimate sniffing. Let's take a nip of it. What the hell? Before I even smell it. Fuck it. I'm a rebel, right? Ooh. 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 That is astringent. Wow. I don't like that in my shot. Get out of my shot chair. The liquor must be hitting me now. I'm getting ornery. All right. I've never been in a bar fight. I just kind of stand there and look big and people run away. That's worked pretty well so far. But the thing is, like, little guy syndrome, I'm surprised some little 5'5" guy hasn't, like, with, like, muscles, who's actually buff, hasn't been like, this tubby fella, I can kick his ass. I guess I just am not threatening. I can't decide if I'm not threatening or too threatening. I don't know. I don't really want to be in a bar fight at this point in my life, but when I was in law school, I would have had a blast with a bar fight. I was a mean little fucker. That's what heartbreak will do to you, but that's another story. That's a story for the patrons. So M is an interesting one. I really like the nose. Yeah, Yolanda says depends on the situation. I don't remember what we were doing, but I was doing something like bringing something over to her, and she's like, whatever, like what you're doing right now is super threatening, and I don't know why. I wish I remember what it was, but I was just bringing something over to her, and she was like, it's really threatening to see you bring this over. Walking out of the grocery store. Woo! Woo! Here we go. Get it kicking. Okie dokie. Fuck. I don't know what to do with this one. Wait a minute. Did I give J and L 72s? I fucking did. Let's get that sorted out. L's better. But let me confirm that J is better than B, which is my 70. It's not. All right, J is moving. Is L better than B? B is my 70. They're close. I think L is more my profile, so I'm going to say yes. But J needs to move. What's below 70? I think that might be in my 60. I don't think I have anything else in the 60s. Yeah, J is better than F, so J is going to be 65 now. All right, M. See, you know, Nate mentioned terrifying in the courtroom. When I was in practice, I got underestimated a lot because I'm young and inexperienced, and people thought, this kid doesn't know what he's doing. And I took advantage of that. There were a lot of times when I was, you know, showing up attorneys 30 years my senior because they assumed I didn't know what I was talking about. Can't make those assumptions, guys. M is fine. Ugh. Talking about that palate blindness, sinus blindness is a real thing too. I'm fighting it hard, guys. They're starting to blend together a lot. And I just keep smelling myself. And that does help. It really does. I smell myself a bunch. And then I come back. And I can really pick up those notes again. And I do kind of like M. Let me compare it to D. D I gave a 75. Ooh, I like it better than D. D is perfumey and kind of fun, but M is more my bailiwick. What did I have above D? I think the next one I had above D was 80, which was my highest, second highest one. Yeah. Oh, A is freaking good, though. Oh, interesting. So A is super caramel bomb, creamy, sweet, beautiful. And M has a lot of those notes, but it also has this like fruit underlying note and this woodiness, so it's a little bit more complex. Oh, that's tough because like the part of me that's like, this is a better whiskey is going to say go with M because the complexity is more valuable. But the part of me that's just like what I want on the nose, me personally, says A over M. I'm going to go with subjectivity. I'm going to go with my personal nose. File your complaints in the comments and I won't read them. I'll read them and feel bad about it and then respond to you. That's probably closer to the truth. M is going to get a 78. Last letter, and then we're drinking hard. I'm going to take a sip of this just to celebrate it being the last letter. It's good. It's a good one. I like that. That's woodier than I usually like them, but because it's super sweet and the woody transition is slow and not too astringent, that's good. That's what you want from a sweet, woody whiskey. So N's got some things going right on the palate, but what about the nose? Oh, that's pretty. You all right? Got the thumbs up. Yolanda's throwing herself into the recycling bin, apparently. I guess it's some sort of new hobby. Is she making a TikTok or something? I am the oldest man in the world on TikTok, but I have fun with it. Sometimes you got to just be the old man and be okay with it. Get in a room full of kids and say something that sounds weird coming out of your mouth. Like I was talking about my drip. People that are my age aren't really usually talking about their drip. If you don't know what drip is, you shouldn't. Okay. And I like a lot. I like it a lot on the nose. I'm going to go right in and compare it to A. close. It's close, guys. It's going to be so sad if, like, all my bottles are at the bottom of this freaking thing. I kind of feel like they're going to be. I think if A has a slight edge. Where's M? That means M and M are going to be real close. M and N. Mike and Nancy. They are really close. Holy crap.
That's interesting.
I think N has a slight advantage over M.
They're not close in numbers.
I'm going to give N a 79, which just barely beats out A. So now I'm going to run down these numbers. I'll do it aloud, and I'll smell them to make sure that I sort of close ranks on the nose, and then we're going to go to the palate. So worst one on the nose was K. I gave that a 50. All right. Next one was I. Go back to K. I may already be switching something here. No, I think that's right. I's better. So then we'll go to H, which I gave a 58. Yeah, better than I. Oh, I gave G a 50 as well. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute here. What's up, Paul? Tell you what. G might be worse than K. No, they're the same. They're both. That's right. That's right. They're tied for 14th. All right. So after A, so we have J and K tied for last place. Then we have I. Then we have H. Next we have F. And so I'm comparing F. Ooh, comparing F to H. Oh, man. I think it's better only because there's more happening. It's less boring. It's not particularly good. So that was F in 10th place. Then we have kind of a big gap in numbers. Then we jump up to B, which is 70. So F was 60. And I know these are arbitrary numbers. I've been assigning things. Oh, wait, no. No, we have J. J was 65. Yep. I like J okay. Where's F? F was 60. J's definitely better. So J's in 9. Okay, cool. And then that would make 8th place would be B. Oreo's not happy. You're down here, babe.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Ooh, J has a mintiness. That's fun. I like minty.
She's on the bed. Fucking child.
Hope you guys could hear that. Our dog is very needy.
You little brat.
Okay, anyway. J. B. Oh, yeah, B is better than J. So B is 8th place. And this is all just on the nose. We're going to do palate and finish next. I'm going to do them together. So after B should be L. You can see the little brat here with me now. Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, guys. Yeah, see, going back to it and sticking with it, you can really start to pick out where you made your decision points. So the difference there, when I first smelled it, L was more vibrant, but it had this sharpness that I didn't like. And so I was going, B's better because it doesn't have that sharpness. But then I keep smelling and keep smelling, and I realized that B has this sort of almost sourness in the mid-palate and the finish. Well, it's not mid-palate and finish, but like on the second and third hits, sort of as you smell it. Whereas L gets sweeter and more classic bourbon-y. So I think L is going to stay in 7th place. After that, 6th place on the nose is very close as E. L and E were very close. Let's get the smell of myself here and see if L or E is better. Tell me what you guys are drinking on in the chat. I want to know what you guys are sipping on while you're watching me do this nonsense. I know Trevor's driving a tractor, so he's probably not drinking right now. Yeah, E's better. It took a long time to get there. They were very close in number, but E is better. It's a little bit fruitier, which adds a level of complexity because all the other notes are almost exactly the same. So E gets the go-ahead at 6th place. Now we're getting in the top 5 here on the nose. Top 5 on the nose. Number 5 is D. Let me confirm that against E, which I have as number 6. Josh got the E.H. Taylor single barrel tasty stuff, my man. Now this is a tough one because D is very different. D is a distinct, marked difference from some of these other stags. B, Chance has that antique 107. Nicely done, sir. Chance's picture is really small and kind of fun. I wish I could see it bigger. Are you hungry? Do you want food?
Where is her wet? Her new wet?
I don't know. It's over here. I didn't put it away. Oh, that's too bad, man. Oh, nice. Yeah, getting close to killing those bottles. Yeah, D's a little better. It's a little bit more sweet and citrusy in a way that I like. A little bit more honey citrus. So D's getting that top 5 spot. Number 4 is M, and number 3 is N. So it should go D, M, N. Damn, without the A. Okay. Yeah, M's definitely better. It's got more caramel, which I'm digging. And N is better yet because it's got the caramel and more of the sweetness. Usually I go for the fruitier whiskeys, but for some reason tonight those fruitier whiskeys aren't giving me the same sweetness I like. Mike's got the Knob Creek Twice Barrel Rye and Stag Junior Batch 14 on deck. Cheers, man. So, 4th place. 5th place was D. 4th place was M. 3rd place was N. And I'll go ahead and tell you guys now, if you're just tuning in, I'm ranking every single batch of Stag Junior blind, 1 through 14 blind. The answer key is up on my Facebook page, The Drink Pro, facebook.com/The Drink Pro. I have not seen it. Yolanda put it up there, my partner. And we're just getting through the nosing here. I got the ranking of A through N of the ranked on the nose. Then I'm going to go through all of them again on the palate. And I'm going to do palate and finish together just for the sake of time because I don't want this to be a 3.5-hour live stream. That's too much. Yolanda's in there making messes. N versus A. Yeah, man. A is just freaking fantastic. That's 2. And C I have written down as number 1.
I mean, I'm going to show you the mess I made, but it's not for you.
C is not staying number 1. C is not staying number 1. C might have just lost its spot. What is that?
Not for you.
Oh!
Turn it so they can see all the cheesy. That's the mess I made.
It's the there it is. What's up, Mark? All right, so that means that on the nose, you're just in time, Mark, for the drinking. I've done all the nosing. I've done the ranking on the nose. Batch C took 2nd place, and Batch A, ironically, took 1st place. Glad he got the kids to bed. He's ready to drink too. The dog over here is shaking like a leaf. You hungry? You hungry? Do you want whiskey? Are you a whiskey girl? Yeah. Let's get drinking.
Wait, you put her down.
Yeah. Oh.
Her dinner is being prepared.
She is a hungry girl. Go get it. Go get dinner. Now, this is going to be a delicate endeavor. I am going to eventually add some water to all these and see how they affect my thinking on them. But at least at first, I'm going to go just straight up and get my rankings that way. So, A. And we're just going to set arbitrary numbers. I really like the smell of A, though. A smells so good. A is pretty high proof. I mean, they're all high proof, but it's more astringent, sharper. You can tell it's high proof. It's sweet. It's citrusy. Big Kentucky hug. Not super woody, though. Relatively short finish. I'm going to give it an 80, just like the same baseline as before. And the short finish, it's getting a low rank for finish. It's going to get 70 on the finish. Finish is not great on A. Take a sip in between. It's going to B. Ooh, now B, very different from A. Longer finish, but it's bitter wood. I think it still gets it above A, but not by much on the finish because it's long, but I don't particularly like it. A was just non-existent. So I'm going to give it like a 73 on the finish. As for the palate, I don't like the palate. 70 on the palate. Okay. Excuse me. Getting into C here. This is going fast, but I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna make split-second decisions. I'm going with my gut. I'm not gonna overthink this. The nose is harder for me, honestly. It's hard for me to pick stuff up. It's harder for me to discern the nuance. On the palate, I'm more my palate's stronger than my scent, basically. My nose. It also is stronger than my scent. I don't smell as much as I can taste. Best finish yet. Well, I fell off a cliff. Mid palate was really good. Take another sip of that. Astringent wood, but it goes into this nice cinnamon, sweet cinnamon mid palate. The finish, yeah, I think that finish is worse than the first one because it takes the bad things I got from B and the quick fall away I got from A. So we're gonna give that a 65 on the finish. On the palate, I kind of want to give it. Yeah, that's the worst yet. We're gonna give it a 65 on the palate as well. C's not my jam, apparently. What are you gonna be sipping on, Mark? I gotta slow down, guys, because if I keep that kind of pace up, it's gonna get sloppy real quick. And I know that's fun to watch, but it's not fun to be. I don't remember what time I set my Patreon stream for. I'll just tell you now that, you know, whenever this is done is when the Patreon stream's kicking in. Let's go ahead and D. Bullet blenders. I've heard really good things about the bullet blenders. D starts strong, but it ends very disappointingly. Oh! The sneaky comeback finish. Wow. That's the best one. It just fell away. The mid palate was gonzo. And then, surprise, bitches, fruity finish. That's cool. That is cool. But the palate is just, it leaves something to be desired. I mean, A is more complicated, more nuanced. It's still a little too sharp. D isn't as sharp as A. I'm almost getting that vitamin quality that people associate with Dickel. I'm almost getting that on D. Something weird's happening, guys. Nope, there it is. All right. D is going to get a 75. It's better than B, but A is still winning. A is too robust. Where D has nothingness in the mid palate, A has a nice, wonderful, bright, expressive, albeit a bit hot, but a lot more's happening. I always think it's funny when I see people, leaving the stream at this point. Like, I get it. It's 10 o'clock. It's getting late for some people, or you got shit to do. But, like, this is the best part. This is what you came here for. Whatever. It's their life. They can screw it up if they want. All right, let's do E here. That was like nothing. I don't know what to do with that. What do you do with that? There's nothing. That's right, Josh. That's right. As this devolves, it gets more. You get less facts and less information, but it does get funnier. Hopefully, that's part of the appeal. Oh, deep hiccups coming from my chest. Oh, my sternum. All right, I'm starting to pick something up. Geez, that took a while. I can't give it high marks, though, because it's so damn faint. I like it better than C only because I feel like C is actively not good for me personally. But B had lower marks on the other two, so do I like it better than B? I think I do. I think I like that better than B. Well, not on the finish. B though has my best finish. No. B is my second best finish. This is going to get tricky. Okay. Okay. So E's finish. Oh, I'm only on E and things are getting tricky. Not a good sign for the future here. I'm going to take a break after I get through this first line for my own help. Does Yolanda not know how to say, is that water? Wadad. Wadig. Wadad. I'm the one drinking 14 ounces of barrel-proof whiskey, not you. Okay. D is I'm sorry, E. Yeah, it's going to get a 67 on a palate. But I think I like the finish better than A. Yeah. So it's going to get 72 on the finish. And remember, equally weighting finish, palate, nose. I forgot the third one. Nose. Equally weighted. So, if something's got a really good finish and a really good nose and the palate's met, it's going to win. It's going to win. People might not like that. Too freaking bad. To my partner's point, water time. That straw is just getting in the way of what we're here to do. Okay. And big shout out to Yolanda for numbering these and putting it up on the website and also getting me this big ass jug of water. This is just what the doctor ordered for such occasions. And we're going hard on some barrel-proof whiskey. I also calculated when I would be 100% sober if I drank all of these pours by 11 p.m. It'll be 12:30 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. I don't intend to go that hard, but you never know. When in Rome. Okay, F. Ooh, I like F. I like the palate of F a lot. Oh, I like a lot of things about F. F did not do well on the smell test. It was 10th out of 14 on the nose. there's a weird astringency on the nose. It's not great. But man, dark horse on the palate though. No worries, Chris. Chris is just asked. He said, "I'm late." Bourbon of the week is Chris, by the way. He said, "Sorry, I'm late. Where are we at?" Well, 14 stags. I've smelled all of them and given my nose rankings. If you want to see what's what, I've got A through N on the glasses because it's blind. The actual answer key is on my Facebook page, facebook.com/thedrinkpro. And we're in the middle of the palate. We're on F in the palate. I'll catch you up, Chris, on what my rankings were on the nose after I get through this first half of the gauntlet of tasting. Man, F is just cranking on all cylinders for me. It's sweet and cherry and honey, and then it gets nutty in the mid palate, which I like. It's a hard transition because what you're doing with a Stag Junior is you're transitioning from sweet and fruity to serious wood in a classic Stag profile. So classic Stag, where does that mid palate go? It can go astringent, which is not good. It can disappear, which is not good. I think your only answer in terms of flavor that will actually be cohesive and continuing and pleasant is nutty. And F finally is a nuttier mid palate. Oh God, the dog is just so mistreated. She's whining because mom's not here to give her hugs and kisses. I'm buying Yolanda fancy hangover brunch tomorrow.
Oh, fuck yeah.
She didn't know about that.
I did not, but I am 100% on board.
I thought you might be.
In Bloomington?
Maybe.
We have to pick up those plants.
Paul asked, tell us the story of accumulating all 14 Stag Juniors. I'll tell you what, Paul, I'll do that once I get to G because I'm going to need a break between the first and second half of this crazy freaking lineup I'm doing. I got to stop just sitting here drinking F. I got to actually focus on what the task at hand is. Do I like the finish on F better than the finish on D, which is currently my favorite finish? No, the finish on D is awesome. I love a berry finish, which is what D is. But you know,
such a fucking fruit.
This is where I run into problems where I'm going, do I go with the traditional, not to get too philosophical, but there's an ideal form of Stag, what Stag is supposed to be versus what I like to drink. I'm going to stick with what I like to drink. That's what this ranking is based on, not the ideal teleological form of Stag. Forget that. This is what I like. And because of that, I'm sticking with that berry finish being my favorite, even though it's way not traditional Stag. So, my second place finish was B. How does the finish on F compare to the finish on B? Okay. See, the finish on B is a classic woody Stag finish. Yeah, I like the finish on F better. So the finish on F, better than B, less than D, we're going to call it a 75. No, we'll call it 76. What the hell? Give it a bonus point. Water. Oh, okay. And on the palate, man, A is so fucking good. A is. F is good. It's not as good as A. My second place on the palate was D. Ooh, I like D a lot too. D, I think, is going to be better than this as well. B. Oh, yeah. F is going to be better than B. Hold on now. Oh, man. I'm starting to feel it, guys. I don't think F is better than B. Fucking A. It's better than E, so I'm going to give it a 69 on the palate. Nice. We got some activity in the chat. I Drink and I Know Things Whiskey Group is here. What's up, Josh? He says holla. We've got Josh, Ken, Steve, and Rick are all in the house. Ken is holding up a sign that says, go, Kyle, go. Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you guys all for joining in. You definitely should, Chris, Bourbon of the Week. Chris, you definitely should pour some of that batch 14. I think Mark is going to pour some batch 14 as well. And the party is definitely starting. I'm feeling great. To catch you guys up to speed, I've done the nose rankings on all 14 pours, and I'm on pour 7 of 14 for the palate and the finish, and then equal weighting nose, palate, finish. That will determine the winner. And then we're going to do the big reveal, and then I am going to pass the hell out. Not before I eat some curly fries. Let's go to G. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Don't worry, Paul, I did not forget your question. Oh, excuse me. I'm just trying to get through this first half. God, the nose on G is terrible. This might be an easy one. Here we go. Oh! No, I didn't forget about the other stream. They're going to watch me eat curly fries. Oh, that's getting a significant bump down. I'm going to give that a 50 on the palate. That's goddamn awful. God, I think that finishes. Oh, no, that finishes a 52. Oh, God, that's no. G was the worst on the nose, and it's the worst on the palate and finish. Oh, God. Oh. I'm glad that G was where it was, because if G came later on in this process, I could have legitimately gotten sick after tasting that, because it's got that throw up flavor. I don't know how else to say it. It's an acidic, astringent, sharp unpleasantness. Well, that's the first half. So, Paul, I'm going to tell you the story how I got all 4 of these Stag Juniors. Just for my own edification, I'll turn back because I got to remember who gave me what. Some of these were relatively straightforward. I got some friends, that are in the whiskey hunting. They like drinking it in the whiskey game, let's call it. Trevor's been a friend of the show for a long time, so I put the bat signal out to try to get all the whiskey, the Stag Junior batches. I'll tell you where the idea came from is there's a local whiskey group here in Indianapolis called the Indie Degenerates. They're a private organization. They're relatively, how do I put this? Insular. They kind of keep to themselves. They don't really like to bring in a lot of new people. They try to stay pretty in group, out group. They're very group centric, which is fine. Organize yourself how you want. But one of their members, who's been really, really pleasant to me, a nice guy, he posted a video showing them doing a lineup of every batch of Stag Junior. And I commented on that post. I was like, hey, that's really cool. I'd love to do that sometime. He's like, yeah, you should do it. You might be surprised at what you like. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And And so I said, okay, we'll see if I can do it. Let's see if I can, rally up the numbers and get some of these samples. So I put out a couple of, put out a couple calls, and Trevor answered the call on the 6. I talked with Mark on the 7. He got me that one. But I'll tell you what really made it easy was Tab 25. He's a guy that was very helpful, nice guy, very friendly, good dude. I'd never met him before, and he's like, hey, I got some samples that you might want. Come over to my house, and I'll give them to you. So I went over to his house, and he has a wonderful, fantastic whiskey collection. Very cool stuff. And stuff I'll never see again in my life, frankly. And he was very nice and generous with the pours. I was not so careful with my portion size, and so a couple of times I've been to his house, it has not ended well. But I take full responsibility for that, and I fully intend to visit him again and be responsible, because if only to show to myself and to Yolanda that I can, in fact, do that. So. But he's a great guy, even though I haven't always been on my best behavior around him. And he was very generous, like I said, with the samples, with the pours, with everything. He's a very generous guy. Whiskey community is some of the most generous people I've ever met. You guys are the best. There's so much shit throwing in the whiskey world for people that are flipping whiskey, people that are all in it for the money, max profits, whatever. People that are refilling bottles and doing all kinds of shady shit to make money. Trevor's back. Welcome back, my man. Forget all those people. Let them do their bullshit. We have to stick together. Make the whiskey community what we want it to be. And we can push the flippers out. We can push the nonsense out. Everybody once in a while, people will sell bottles. That's very different from trying to be a professional flipper. I think a lot of people have a problem with that. So anyway. Let's get I'm gonna drink some more water, and then we'll get back into the second one, because I'm really feeling it, and I've only had half the pours I'm supposed to taste. Not good. What I am learning is I did not plan myself enough time for this stream. I hope my patrons that were going to join me in the aftermath have realized to come here instead, because this is taking longer than I should have known this was going to take a long freaking time. But alas, I did not. Okay. So now we are on H. So Trevor said, so far, what's your favorite? I just left as the tasting started. That's a great question, Trevor. Let me, since we went off on a little tangent there, and by we I mean me, let's break it down where we're at so far. On the palate, my favorite so far was number 1. And my favorite on the finish so far was B. I said number 1. A was my favorite on the palate so far, and D was my favorite on the finish. And D was also my second favorite on the palate. So D had very high marks. Let's go ahead with H. Paul asked, do you do cuckold with Yolanda? No, Paul. Now, H, I had 11th out of 14 on the nose. There's just no finish. That reminds me of A on the finish. Let's see where A is compared to that. Way better on the palate. Oh, better on the finish, too. C was my second to lowest finish. There's no way that was worse than G. G was goddamn awful. So, Paul's drunk. I'm at Stag sample 8. That's correct. I'm at Stag 8, and by 8 I mean that's right, Paul. Cheers, my man. H, aka 8. Hey, you got to ask. I mean, I can't hate on a guy for shooting a shot. I can't. He didn't say anything derogatory. Fair question. My connection is unstable. Well, so am I, damn it.
I mean, I guess it's a compliment.
It is, absolutely. Oh, man. I need French fries. What am I doing? Okay, I'm on H. Why am I smelling C? I'm doing finishes. Okay, let's get myself back on track here.
How about before you do that, you order on DoorDash your curly fries?
No. I'm back at C. We're doing finish. Ooh, it's getting nutty. And I'm on H. That's my comparison point. H is not my jam. I think I like the finish a little bit better than C. So I'm going to give it a 67 on the finish. But the palate, I'm going to give it a 60 even. Not my jam. Got that Balcones Blue Cast Strength. I got rid of my straw. Not a bad call. I'll drink a lot more water without the straw. Trevor. Honestly, Trevor, we can't go inside anywhere. Oh, maybe I can if I mask up. I'll have to check. If I can go inside at the Arby's, I'm gonna walk to the Arby's. It's close enough I can walk there. Oh wait, do I have to go under a bridge? I may have to go under a bridge. I don't really want to go under bridges right now. Let's move to I. I am way drunker than I thought I would be. Which maybe that's my naivete, but I'm taking really small sips, guys. I'm really fucking trying to not get drunk. Oh. Everything's all uneven. Stag Jr. roulette. I really am. Maybe Russian roulette. Okay. Mark got that batch 7 now. Cheers, man. G_carry. Yeah, I'm pretty drunk, and I'm really trying not to get drunk. All right, Trevor's sipping on that batch 6. Cheers, my man. Let's get this done. Let's do it. Come on. Hype myself up. Let's make this happen. I've only got 7 more to drink. 6 more to drink. Ooh, I like that. I really did not like the nose on that, but I like the palate. That's a trend. There's a couple in here that I've really liked the palate and not the nose. It's got no finish, though. Like, none. All right, I'm starting to find the finish. Where does that compare to F? Okay. All right, the finish on I is okay, it's better than okay. So the finish on I is worse than B and F, which is 73 and 76, but better than E, which is 72. That means they have to make it 72 and a half, which is because I was being stupid. I like F better on the palette. Oh man, we're getting into dangerous territory here, guys. I'm gonna give that. Let me test E once more, real quick. I think I'm gonna give that a 68. Oh, I don't know. I kind of like that. 66. It's still better than C. Okay. I can't believe I still have 5 of these fucking things left. Whose idea was this anyway? Ugh. What a mistake. Thank God for water. I ate right before this. Trying to figure out, like, in my own best interest, how to deal with this, because I'm getting very dizzy, which I feel like I'm able to talk fine. My stomach is rumbly a little bit, but the dizzy is really disconcerting and hard to process, and that's not something I'm used to. Usually when I drink whiskey, I don't get dizzy, so I don't know what to do about that. It's weird. Could you give me some toast?
I'm making you a peanut butter and jelly.
Okay, thank you. That might wreck my palate, but sometimes you gotta make sacrifices. Let's do J. Let's try to hammer these out. J.
If Drunk Ilana can do anything, she knows how to cook.
Palette on J's fine. It's worse than E, and E is 67. What's up, Dan? He said scientific. Paul said it's okay to delay this for a day or two. I'm so close, though, Paul. I want to get these answers. Okay. So E was better than J, and E was 67. Is C better than J? No. J's better. That helps. Oh shit! I was already in between them two. 66. It's better than that. J is 66 and a half. 66.5. We're gonna have 0.75s before this is all over. Okay. Oh boy. Finish.
It's a smiley face.
Oh, thank you. Look at that. The finish on J. Let's A, I gave a 70 on the finish. Let me compare it. You measured all these, right? Right? She didn't hear me. Okay. I got you. I think the finish on A is better, which was not a high mark for a finish. So if you ever wondered why people like Fred Minnick spit instead of swallow when they're doing these kind of tastings, this is fucking why, because this is really difficult at this point. I'm in the home stretch, but goddamn. Ugh. H is not good. It's better than that. Finish on J is better than that. I mean, it's between 67 and 70. I'm going to give it a 69. Nice. Whew. Eat some bread. There's peanut butter sandwich, but I'm trying to avoid eating the actual sandwich, and here's why. There are a lot of elements to that delicious-looking meal over there that will interfere with my palate, and I really do want to get the right answer. And I'm so fucking close. I got 4 left. And I've drank just all of the water. But you know, it's still a struggle. We're gonna make it happen. I'm not going out without a fight, guys. I've come this far. I'm not gonna get sick on camera. I'm not gonna get sick off camera. I mean, I did the math. Like, I sat down, I calculated it out. I know how much it is I can drink. So when this is all said and done, I'm probably gonna pour it all together in a big glass. And no, I'm good, thanks. And see how much is left, because I do think that even like excuse me, I think half the whiskey that was poured is still sitting out on the table, and that was a good decision. I mean, that's how it should be, because I poured ounce pours, where rather Yolanda poured ounce pours at my request, and that's because I knew I'd have to compare to some a lot. Like, this is very near empty, whereas this is very near the full ounce. You know, and I knew that was going to happen. So And D is a good example. Like D, I knew where it fit, even though I didn't have to drink a lot of it. I didn't have to keep revisiting it. All right. Now K got the worst mark. It was tied for the worst mark on the nose. So this might be an easy one. Let's go ahead and take a quick nip. Yeah, not good. The finish is better than the taste. That's tricky. So how do I feel about that compared to H? Let's go with the palate first. Usually I've been going finish first, but let's do palate first because that was the more distinct point for me. Yeah. It's worse than H. Well, it's about the same as H, honestly. No, it's worse. Yeah. All right, K is getting a 55 on the palate. I'm so close, you guys. I'm so fucking close. Eating bread. I'm literally just pulling pieces off of this sandwich. I'm trying to keep the integrity of this test, even though it's just stupid. All right, K. That finish is better than C. I already tried C. It's better than C. How does that compare to J? I think it's better than H too. I tried H. Not as good as J. All right, K. Yeah, K's gonna get 68 on the finish. I drink and I know things. Whiskey Group shout out. They need a shout out. Here's your shout out. I drink and I know things. Whiskey Group is a Facebook group. I got some glassware here. Check out that dragon. Yeah. Oh. Boy, this is gonna get ugly. Oh, I still have 3 left. Fuck. And they're good ones too, which is good. I mean, I'm glad I'm gonna finish on a high note, but I really want to eat that food, but I know it's gonna fuck my palate. I know it, and I'm like, ugh. If I go quick, we can hammer it out, get it done, and then just smash that plate of food. Let's get serious. Okay, here's L. Not good on the palate. Ooh, very bitter. I like the finish. Palate's not good though. I mean, is it as bad as C? I don't think it is. No, I know it's not. I remember C. It's not that bad. I and J were really close on the palate. This is I. Which one was lower? I was lower. Drink Pro bar packs. Not going to happen. All right. L is lower than I. It's going to get a 65.5 on the palate. I like the finish, though. I think the finish is going to be right here around E. Yep. It's a little bit better than E, actually. I'm going to give it 74, maybe? Yeah, 74 on the finish. I like that finish. L's got a good finish. All right, let's do M. We're moving and grooving, guys. I'm going to get this fucking thing done. I'm going to smash that sandwich. The longer I wait, the drunker I'm going to get. The finish on M is not bad, but it's just boring. I just had B. E. I like M kind of a lot on the palate. I'm going to get a 77 on the palate. That's a really good one. Doesn't dethrone A. And it's going to get a 64 on the finish. No, wait. $66 on the finish. I had to remember. I had to remember which ones I had tried, which ones I hadn't, and how they compared. Last one, guys. Man, we're getting to it. We're getting into it. A little bit of bread to raise my spirits. I think, honestly, you know what? I think I have like a heartburn thing going on. If Yolanda's listening, if she could grab me some Tums, that would be wonderful. Because I'm feeling a lot of the pressure in my chest, and that's not like nausea from like drinking too much. That's heartburn. And there's a lot of barrel-proof whiskey, and I had Arby's for dinner. So, like, heartburn adds up. Okay. Let's go to N. N is in Nancy. We're making it happen, guys. Here we go. Thank you, baby. Yeah. Oh, boy. Kentucky chicken chunk. Oh man, we're having a time, guys. This is falling apart. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Much like on the nose, it's going to be second place on the palate. The finish is I'm trying, man. Thanks, Trevor. I'm trying. I need all the emotional support I can get right now. This is a real shit show. Oh, I gotta get the finish though. We gotta make it happen. Come on, woo! Finish. That's the best finish. That's the best finish. Let me make sure. I think F is currently my best one. But I think it's the best finish. Yeah. Yep. 78 on the finish. We're done. Okay. All right. We're gonna do a reveal. Let me get some water. And we're gonna do a reveal. Okay. I'm so happy I didn't throw up. I thought I was going to throw up. I was kind of sure I was going to throw up, but I just said push, 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 push. Oh, man. Thanks, Bourbon Head. Oh, okay. So, the ranking. So on the nose, I checked when I went through to double check. I'm not double checking right now. It's not happening. Sorry. Trust my first judge or fuck off. The stream isn't over yet. You're right, Adam. And I've got a bonus Patreon stream right after this. So, but I feel good. I feel confident. All right. 14th place was G again. That nightmare pour. 13th place was K, which was 14th, tied in the nose. And this is just palate, by the way. I'm just doing palate first, then I'm going to do finish. 12th place on the finish was H, which is 11th place. There's some consistency here. The nose, palate, the finish, I'm seeing a lot of consistency. They're usually pretty close. Boy, when you're having trouble finding numbers on a piece of paper, you know it's been a long night. 65. That means 11 is C. Whoa! Now C was number 2 on the nose, but it's number 11 on the palate. Number 10 on the palate would be L, which was 7 on the nose. Number 9 on the palate would be I, which was 12 on the nose. Number 8 on the palate is J, which was 9 on the nose. Number 7 on the palate was E, which was 6 on the nose. You see how consistent most of these are? It's usually pretty consistent. Number 6 on the palate was F, which was 10 on the nose. Then we got B, which was 8 on the nose. That's number 5 on the palate. Liked it more than I smelled it. Number 4 on the palate was D, which was 5 on the nose. Number 3 on the palate was M, which was 4 on the nose. Number 2 on the palate was N, which was 3 on the nose. And number 1 on the palate was also number 1 on the nose, A. Now, finish. We'll go through it. I'm just going to try to go through it real quick and then verbalize it afterwards, because I think verbalizing is hard for me right now. I can't imagine why. And then, if you have any words of encouragement or hangover cures, now's the time to put them in the chat. I might need them. This was a lot harder than I anticipated it was. I mean, maybe I was cocky, maybe I was stupid, but I don't know, man. Like this, I'm really struggling right now, and I thought this was going to be relatively easy. Maybe that's just hubris, you know, but man, I'm like really struggling to write on this sheet of paper. That's the kind of struggle I'm having. I'm having a hard time writing on paper. Where's that sandwich? Uh-huh. I didn't even finish any of these pours. They all still have whiskey in them. Don't fuck with barrel proof, man. If you don't fuck with it, respect. You gotta respect barrel proof. It can hurt them. Oh, there's jelly all over the table. God damn it. Okay. Trevor with a little bit of foreshadowing there. I love it, Michael McAllister. Do it for the curly fries. Okay. Man, come on, writing on paper. Let's make this happen. It can't be that hard.
Don't worry, I'm coming to save you.
Uh-oh.
Gee, thanks.
All right, I got it. Okay. Wow. Mark G, have you peed yet? Nope, that's going to be between the two streams. Streams. The finish. This is interesting. The nose and the palate pretty well aligned, but the finish is kind of an oddball. My favorite finish was D, which was 4 and 5 on the palate and nose respectively. Then N, which was 2 and 3. N is probably going to be our winner here. Then 3, which was, 3 was F, which is 6 on the palate and 10 on the nose. F just got better and better as you kept drinking it. N might be. N is in Nancy. Number 4 was L. Best part of it was the finish as well. Number 5 was B, which was 5 on the palate, 8 on the nose. Number 6 was boy, this is math is hard when you're drunk. Number 6 is I, which was, again, a lot of these finishes are the best parts of some of these whiskeys. 7 is E. 8, oh, wow. 8 on the finish was A, which was number 1 on the palate and 1 on the nose. Big drop off on that finish. Okay, number 9 was J. Man, J was steady Eddie, man. J was middle of the pack all the way. It was 9 on the nose, 8 on the palate, 9 on the finish. You got all make-upped up, didn't you?
You got all drunk, didn't you?
I did. You knew this was going to happen.
You also knew this was going to happen.
I don't think I did.
I told you.
Well, you told me you were, yeah, you told me I didn't understand what the extent of what was happening.
I said I was going to do my hair and makeup. I gave up on the hair.
You did say that. All right, I just forgot. I should have included Batch 15, also known as ECVP 920. I was a little worried, guys, honestly.
Oh my gosh. He has had so much more than he should have.
What?
Some of these are almost empty.
Anyway.
Like half of them.
No. A, B, E, and F are almost empty. H and J are close. Let me fucking do this math here. Hold on.
What math are you trying to do?
Hold on.
Do you want to calculate?
No, just let me talk. I've drank at least 10. I would say 10 ounces. If I had to guess, 10 is a good number. Okay, come on. I gotta do this. Just let me focus. Does anybody know what letter I was on or what number I was on?
6.
I was on 6. Okay, 7. 7 is super steady, Eddie. 7 is E. It was 6 on the nose, 7 on the palate, 7 on the finish. 8 was A. No, Paul, it's not. Number 9, J. It's another steady Eddie. J was 9 on the nose, 8 on the palate, 9 on the finish. Shout out Carrie. K was 10 on the finish. Now K was terrible in most other ways, but the finish was
thanks, girl.
Top 10, I guess, which isn't awful, but K is fucking terrible. Number 11. Oh, steady Eddie again. H was 11 on the nose, 12 on the palate, 11 on the finish. The fact that I didn't reference those other numbers and I consistently got pretty similar scores actually makes me feel really good about what has happened here, because although I clearly got too drunk and I'm hanging on for dear life based on half of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm consistent. All these numbers are really consistent, and I think that means I'm pretty freaking close to what I actually feel. What was number? Where did I stop? 11. I stopped 11. So 12 is a shocker, though. After all that ranting about being consistent, 12 is M on the finish, which was 4 on the nose and 3 on the palate. I hated the finish on 12, basically because it didn't exist or was very weak sauce. Number 13 is C. C just got worse and worse. C was my second favorite on the nose. It was 11 on the palate and 13 on the finish. Finally, you know who's bringing up the rear. It's G. It's the worst. Fuck G. I hope you guys have had fun. Oh, but wait, we're not done. I got to reveal it. Well, first, let me math a little bit here, and then we'll reveal it. Let me do some math. Can you entertain them while I math?
I have to entertain people?
Yes,
Shit.
yeah.
I only know plants and makeup.
Well, do one of those.
And being awkward around people who make inappropriate comments. Well, Carrie and Sabrina, who I believe are in the chat, helped me come together with my makeup in like 15 minutes. And then I had to pause in the middle to make him food that he still hasn't eaten because he wanted toast. But I had already started on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Isn't it entertaining to watch a tax attorney do math? Happens a lot in this house. The best is when he spends 6 hours on our budget, and then I get sad. Yolanda likes entertaining. I don't think that's true, Trevor.
No, it's really not. I like entertaining. She does not.
Well, I think it's because I feel obligated to put on like this huge to-do. And so that's why I don't like entertaining. Jill or Skippy?
Jif or Skippy on the peanut butter.
Oh.
This is Jif Crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every maybe 4 or 5 batches, I get the crunchy, just for kicks.
And I do the all-natural peanut butter, like ground in store, that he absolutely hates.
Ground in store?
Yeah, like my crunchy and smooth in the refrigerator that has no preservatives.
Little ground in store?
Mm-hmm. It's just like peanuts ground to like a pulp or paste, I guess.
Okay.
Are you done mathing?
Not yet. Almost.
As you spit onto the table, you are so attractive right now.
Oh, I'm a sexy fucker. I know that.
Maybe I should take Paul up on his offer.
Paul's trying to fuck me. You got the cuckold backwards, baby. All right.
I don't think that's true. I think you just drunkenly want it to be the reverse. Is there such thing as a reverse cuckold? Does anyone know?
It's just a regular ass cuckold. It's a regular fucking cuckold.
That's String Pro After Dark stuff.
Yeah, wrong about that.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. That'll probably be a conversation for the Patreon. There have been a lot of not safe for work conversations in those streams. If you spend time entertaining, do you get extra money in the plant budget? No.
We have separate budgets right now. We're not married.
That's true. We should go reference back to the, live stream from the Patreon a few weeks ago.
7.
What about, why are you just randomly saying 7? You told me to entertain people.
Keep doing it, baby. You're doing great.
Yeah, our budgets are technically separate. So
Technically.
I mean, we still split like all of our bills, but our overall monthly budgets are separate.
9.
Because he won't put a ring on my damn finger. Good choice. I don't know what you said good choice to. Oh, maybe the GIF? I'm missing out then. Yeah, you need to get in that Patreon content, girl. The lowest level even gets the live stream.
Yeah, that's a very good thing to point out. Every level has the benefit of the monthly live stream that's only for Patreon. There are different benefits for every
level. Isn't the
level.
lowest level only $3 a month too?
Yes. I believe it's $3.
That's cheaper than a plant, girl.
Yeah, it's cheaper than a cup of coffee.
You do need to join Patreon.
Yeah, I think $3 a month gets you into the live streams. The $7, what do you get? Each level bumps up. The $7 gets you to
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor is the master of the Patreon.
I think you're technically the master of the Patreon.
Well, Trevor is the corn daddy of the Patreon.
That shirt is incoming.
Shit, what is the $7 gift?
I don't know. You just
I'm
reread
the worst.
all of these.
I'm the worst at
You reread all of these, and you were like, hell, everyone gets the live stream. That's some good shit.
Yeah, it is good shit. I didn't even know how good I was giving shit away for. Oh, early access. I think $7 is the early access. So you get access to my videos before everybody else, before they're posted up. I think there's something else, but I can't remember. Oh, that's what it is. I just remembered.
We don't even have shirts yet, Trevor.
Soon, Trevor. Soon. It will be soon. The $7 level also gets you access to a giveaway that I can't call a giveaway.
A raffle.
I can't call it a raffle either. You with a $7 level, every month you get 7 opportunities to buy, and you can trade those in, and then I'm going to pick an opportunity and let somebody buy a bottle. Make sense? Yeah. And actually, the first drawing of that's going to happen on the Halloween stream while I'm drinking goofy shit out of this bucket. But I digress. The $3 level will get you access to the Patreon monthly only live streams.
We do need to cover the Halloween stream again, just as a, shout out to what's going to happen next Saturday. For those of you who weren't here at the beginning, we're doing a trick or treat with some trivia or something. I will be partaking in that live stream, and he has that trick or treat bucket.
Is this a Ponzi scheme? Yes, it is. I am 100% operating a Ponzi scheme, Adam. Here, I'm gonna do an upset. I'm gonna eat this banana in an upsetting way.
You're just gonna see. This is the cuckoldness. This is the.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really upsetting here.
Oh. I was expecting you to be inappropriate with the banana, but instead you turn into like a gorilla who has no table manners.
Tell him.
Tell him what? Swallow. Anyway, back to the trick or treat. We have a bunch of mini bottles, mostly from airlines, I think. I don't really know where they've been acquired, but they are very old. Some of them are very good, and some of them are going to be very bad. There is even one that has a worm, as shown. I will also be dressed as Poison Ivy. So, Paul, if you want to see more skin, I guess come to Halloween. I'll also be in a red wig. Let you want to eat them banana. Holy shit. Alrighty then.
All right. Tell them the result. Number 1.
At Paul, would you be jealous of what happened when me and Nate were in Indy?
Yeah. All right. Number 1.
Trevor, I don't think I know what you're talking about. What's number 1? What letter?
N.
N is batch 10. Hey, that rhymed.
Oh. That's interesting. Batch 10 is not typically referenced as one of the best batches. And it is also one I believe that I own. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, you do.
All right. Number 2 was A.
Batch 6.
That's Trevor's.
Go Trevor. Go Trevor.
Number 3. Oh, a tie for number 2 was also with D.
Batch 2.
Really? That's very interesting because the earlier batches have been said to not be as good. So I really like batch 2. Who would have known it? All right. Number 4, because there were 2 2s, is B.
Batch 5.
Batch 5. Man, some of these earlier batches I'm liking more than the later ones. That's really interesting. Number 5 is F.
Batch 7.
Wow, I haven't had any of the recent batches yet.
Batch 10 was your number 1.
Yeah, that's the most recent one. All right. There's a tie for 5 with M.
Batch 1.
Wow.
The hardest one for you to find.
That was the hardest one for me to find, and M did pretty good. It had a terrible finish. Yeah, Adam is 100% right. Old batches weren't as good because people haven't ever done all 14. I think it's a good point. I am
That's a really good
surprised
point.
by what I'm finding.
What's next?
Next is
Letters are hard, especially since you kept calling them numbers.
I don't see a 6. Oh, there's 2 5s. Okay, so 7 is E.
Batch 13.
Hey, nice in the middle
Middle
of
of
the
the
pack.
pack.
Number 8 is L.
Batch 12.
Yeah, these new batches are all middle of the pack. Number 9 is J.
Batch 8.
Number 10 is tie for number 9 with batch C.
Batch 14.
Oh.
You got a lot of ties.
11 is I.
Batch 9.
12 is H.
Batch 3.
Yeah, did not care for 3 very much. Batch 13.
Batch 13.
I'm sorry. K.
Batch 4.
4, not good. And 14, the one that was the worst, G.
Batch 11.
Oh. Now, I'm going to give more detail about why that is so interesting in the Patreon only stream. If you're not a patron, consider jumping over patreon.com/thedrinkpro, patreon.com/thedrinkpro.
Another benefit of being a patron is that all of our previous streams are available for you to watch as soon as you sign up.
That's true. I don't post the Patreon only streams to my YouTube channel, and you'll figure out why pretty quickly.
They're out of control.
All right, guys. I'm going to read through them once more, and then we're signing off. I drank all 14 Stag Juniors. I compared them on the nose, on the palate, and on the finish. I equally weighted all 3 of those factors and found that the best Stag Junior batch for me was batch 10. Number 2 was a tie between batch 2 and batch 6, which is pretty unexpected. Number 4 was batch 5. Number 5 was batch 7. Number 6, there's a tie for 5 with batch 1 and batch 7. Number 7.
How about we just do top 5?
Was batch 13 and etc. And the worst 2, I'll do the worst 2, were batches 4 was second to worst, and batch 11 was the worst. I think batch 11 was the worst because of how I handled the sample, but you'd have to be a patron to find out more about that. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Keep drinking like professionals.
See you next week.
See you next week for that Halloween stream, and you might watch me eat a worm if you're feeling frisky. If you're a patron, go over to the Patreon stream that's posted on the channel. We're going to keep this going. Cheers.